Okay, let's get this started. Okay, uh, today was crazy. Hey guys, I know my screen's messed up, but I have to reflect after today. Today was one of the biggest realizations that I ever experienced. I have to realize something. You know, you can say that I'm new to the stock market. I'm very new. I'm actually going live because if I don't get this out, I feel like it like defeats the purpose about what I learned today. I have to look back and watch these clips. Poor videography, poor realization, poor speech, poor, everything. Poor man mindset. I have to realize that because the start of this, I had to realize that I was living in the matrix. I feel like a lot of people, they live in a matrix, and they live their whole life in the matrix. And I'm one of those. I'm one of those, people. I realized that I did a lot. Growing up, I always seen like my mom and my dad. They worked. They never really taught anybody about money and stuff like that. And I always felt like I had to prove a point to be a certain type of person in my family. I always felt like I had to do this to make that, to take care of this. I was caught up in the matrix. And, after a while, I realized that, there's so much, there's so much more in being in that trap. I had to realize that I had to get myself out of that trap. I've been doing so much, studying. It just blows my mind. And I have to realize something. I had to realize something really quick and really fast at the age of 29. All the mistakes that I made in life, it got me here. And it got me here because I felt that it was something in my body, in my muscle memory, and my mental memory, and my spending memory, and my financial memory. I felt like that had to change. And I didn't feel like this had to change because I was under any financial struggles or hardships. I just feel like that had to change because I, I did not understand how the way how money worked. Money does not work, in ways people think it does. It just doesn't. And I felt like that was the underlying sentence for me. Once I felt like money did not work like that, and I had to do the research behind to find the reason why money did not work how the way that I was thinking, everything changed, bro. Everything. When I mean everything, I mean everything. I can't sleep. I eat, I work, I do all that other stuff perfectly, but I want it so bad. When okay, once you realize you're in the matrix, and then you see that you go under that, you go under that bubble where the matrix just does not feel right, or you peep outside the matrix and you're just like, something's going on, what I've been doing, or something's going on with the way I've been handling certain things. And it is not, it is not a I cannot take anymore. It's a realization of it's a realization of what's really going on, and then what's actually going on. See, what's really going on is that I was trapped. What's actually going on is there's something. This country, America, has been doing something since the beginning of its existence that people like me, discretion, financial stability, trapped in that matrix, or how things was handed down, they generated a certain type of mentality, life, food, education, all the above. It does not stop. It is etc. It's infinite, and it was something that I didn't realize. So what I did was I was lucky. I was lucky. This is what I did. I was lucky. I have an older brother, and you know, he's older than me. He's about 3 years older than me, 4 years older than me, 2 years, whatever. This guy, when I tell you my brother had been through some stuff that I just couldn't understand. And I would never understand it being trapped in the matrix. But as I realize now that my brother, he poked his head out the matrix way before me. And that is something that I had to dawn on as an early investor. And this is me, my past, talking to my future. You have to realize that the way that I was going throughout life, he been there already. He been there already. He shifted. He been through the lessons. He been through the studies. He been through the what's going on. He been through everything that I'm talking about. And the fact that whatever he had going on, he still included me in that. And when I popped my head, when I finally, when I say finally, I mean finally, when I finally popped my head out the matrix, I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, this is not what it seems. And you have somebody in your life that been through that, because we, as a family, as a culture, as a race, we're trapped. And it sucks. It's horrible. And I can never put my mind to it. And I'm gonna go off on a rant for a little bit for future references. I had to realize, dude, as a black man, I had to realize that some people would say things like, "Oh, they are ungrateful. Oh, they're lazy. Oh, they don't understand. Oh, they want everything handed to them. They don't take opportunities. They don't take advantage of of something's going on." And dude, when I tell you that is embedded in us to realize of to have a realization of what this side of America's got going on and what this side of Black America has going on, I have to realize that it is such a classism. When I say it is not racism. First of all, it's dude. Everybody knows. I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody knows that we're all human beings. Yes, there are some horrible people out there. Don't get me wrong. There are some horrible people out there that are, whatever, whatever. And but check this out though. There are on my side, on my culture, on my race, on my identity, there are a lot of horrible people out there that fits that narrative only because every single race and culture fits the narrative. The only thing that separates the is the identity. And when I say that, I mean, you know, if you already if you're already been held a bad hand, which you thought you were dealt a bad hand, but you're really not, no matter what circumstance. But if you already held that bad hand, it's easy for people, in yourself to you know have a mental state of mind of this is what's going on in America. This is what's going on. So I'm gonna feel that way. I'm gonna protect myself. I'm gonna defend myself, and I'm gonna have that mindset of not being able to come to a realization of what's actually going on. I'm gonna defend myself to a point where what are these people saying about me? Man, it may be wrong and may be correct. But the thing about it is, it does not fit the bottom line of what advantages that you do have, no matter what race, no matter what color, no matter what what do we have? Let's break that down. What do we have? Everybody may have something totally different. You might you might be a African American, a white, a Mexican, a Asian, a Indian. What do we have when we come to having citizenship in America? We have the freedom. We have the freedom to make some up out of ourselves. We have the freedom to not be penalized by the government, a freedom of speech. We have the freedom to be poor, poor in mindset, poor in financial stability, for poor in every aspect that we think that we're in. But we are not. We are not poor in any of. You know what I call those type of aspects? As I'm peeking out the matrix, I call those gratitude ships, because we do not take advantage of every little piece of the pie, and we always say that we're proud of it. We show gratitude, but we don't show no partnership in the fact that we pay our taxes, we do everything that we have to do to be an outstanding American citizen, and we take that for advantage, but we don't build no partnership in the of the offerings that America have given us. Yes, this country was built on the back of slavery. This country was built on the back of white Americans. This country was built on the back of Mexican Americans, illegals. Yes, all that. But guess what? I'm here to tell you, future self, all that doesn't matter. You have to look at you have to look at the bigger picture. And this is where my brother comes back in place. I have to realize something, that the bigger picture is is it's not your picture. Don't get it twisted. The bigger picture is not your finances. It's not what you got going on. The bigger picture is not what this is what a lot of people get it mixed up at. The bigger picture when it comes to living and being, stable and understanding and being in the bigger is not what these people got going on in the next country. Is not what these people have going on in China or Cuba or South America or Brazil. Is not That's not the bigger picture. And I'm here to tell you, future me, the bigger picture is understanding the values. Let me repeat that. The values of life. That is what we all we all, I don't care what race you is, what ethnicity you are. I don't care. I don't care. The bigger picture is what life values. And let me say this. When it comes to being a entrepreneur, when it comes to be a business owner, when it comes to be a real estate owner, real estate agent, when it comes to being a stockholder, when it comes to investments, this is where these two correspond with each other. Values. And I feel like that's the most important thing when it comes to, that life. You know, I had to understand something very important very quickly. All of that, you know, you have, hear me out. The values that you thought you wanted that house. Why? You thought you wanted that car. Why? You thought you wanted those clothes. Why? You thought you. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. There's somebody out there that knows you want those values, and guess what? They're gonna capitalize on it. They're gonna capitalize on you. Why? So their values and their family values and their heritage and their lineage can properly be in a position where their values are lived. Not live when I say you got this and you care about this and this is what I'm. No, I mean something totally different. The value of control. And I think and I know that is the bigger picture of what my brother was trying to get me to understand today, the value of control. And that is something, ladies and gentlemen, that we will never, never be able to grasp with a poor mindset. That is only something that you will ever understand when you value a life meant to be a objective, not a subjective. Talk to him. Talk to him, Rob. I'm gonna talk to you one more time. I'm gonna talk. I'm a, this live right now. What's going on for 17 minutes? Okay, I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to myself. I'm gonna talk to you. Because guess what? We're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back for the people that didn't understand. Because let me tell you something. They don't want you to understand. So we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it all the way back. So when you're when you're out in life, you're out and working, you're working for somebody else, you making somebody else's dreams come true. Okay, let's check. Okay, when you want something, when you're buying something, you making somebody else's dreams come true. You think you're happy. You think there's value, but your value is being sucked up by somebody else's value. That means that it's way smarter than you, and you're getting their values fulfilled, and you think that you're getting your values fulfilled. Wrong. So they go back to the market. That goes back to the market. You think that you're getting your you think that you're getting your values fulfilled, but you're getting somebody sucking up your value, and you're fulfilling their value because you don't know because you're thinking a poor mindset. You thinking a what we call it. You thinking a bearish mindset. You thinking a bearish. A you live in a bearish community. You live in a bearish job site, workplace, company. That's what you live in. You know why? Because it was meant to be like that. So the real can pump their weight, pump their shoulders, and bull right over your parade. And man, I have to realize that. I have to realize that. So let's bring it back. Okay, first thing first. I'm a beginner at the market. That's something that I can agree on. That's something that my brother can agree on. But me making this rant, I had to realize a lot of things in life. So that's why I recorded. I want to live. I have to live. I had to realize something. If I don't participate in the game, am I really a player? If I don't learn what's going on, am I really learning? If I don't take the time out and, you know, hit those marks, am I really doing anything? And that's what I had to realize because I wanted to come into the zone I didn't know nothing. I was excited. I've been through the Dogecoin. I've been to the Shiba Inu. I lost all my money and I quit. I got out of it. I said, I'm never doing this again. I'm going back to college. Dropped out of college, got a trade, started making some money, and I realized something. That is you're going deeper in the matrix because we all know when you do that stuff, you make more money, you get more expenses, you do all this, you put yourself in a trap. And even if you don't put don't understand the value. You don't understand money. Me personally, I didn't understand money. I thought money is something that you can you, you I thought money was something that you get when you go to college. You get a trade and you work 30 years, you get a retirement, you get a home and stuff like that. That is not it. That is not it. And I would never go back to it. Yes, my body physically is in the matrix. And I feel like that's something that we don't talk about. My body physically is totally in the matrix. My downside to my downside is winning way more than my upside. But I made a way. And the time that it took to make a way to even though to be real is not a way. It's horrible. It's still downside. But I got an advantage by eating ramen noodles, not getting this and all the other stuff. And I had to realize something that everything dude, when you live, it's like being a part of the market. And the way you're living is gonna show in your charts. And this is, my past me telling me is which path are you gonna go down, dude? Are you gonna go down that bullish? Are you gonna go down that bearish? Are you gonna be in the middle? Are you gonna take what you can get? What are you gonna do? We're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. Yeah, I can tell you that much.